All right, back to the NFL here for a second. It is the return of Deshaun Watson. All the nonsense, not 100% behind him yet, because there's one gal that is held out settling with him. So that's going to play itself out in court, I guess, at some point in civil court. But Deshaun Watson's back. Yesterday, he spoke to the media. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question because he had to go under court-ordered therapy or league-ordered therapy. So that's not a very intrusive question, but therapy is a private thing, whether you want to find out about it or not. So you have to respect the fact he doesn't want to share that. I love the fact he's got a pencil in the hat. Like, who uses pencils anymore? Number one. Number two, I guess it's going to chase him the rest of his life. He'll always be the guy that great football player, but. And I don't think he's ever going to escape that. But I do understand why his team, and I know one of his agents very, very well, Deshaun Watson being back in the NFL from a pure talent standpoint is good for the NFL. He's one of the young stud quarterbacks the league has.
Yeah, and when you think about Deshaun Watson and what's surrounding him, like you said, it's never going away. This is something that you put yourself in the middle of, you're going to have to deal with, you're going to have to navigate it for the remainder of your career. But this is something that can quiet it down, his play.
Yes.
And him being back on the football field is going to be the best thing for the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be the best thing for him because now our attention starts to, we have this way of, there's something we're focusing on, but if you can distract me with something else,
right,
my attention goes over here.
Right.
That's Deshaun Watson right now in this moment. If he plays well, we're going to be like, wow, 2 years off, and this is what you come back and do?
From a player standpoint, listen, I never played the game, obviously, at that level. How could he possibly show up and not be rusty?
That's going to be difficult.
Right?
I don't know any way that it would be extremely, extremely impressive if he comes out against the Texans, who, again, all of these rivalry, I'm going to get you guys back and all that. It means nothing when you haven't played in 2 years. Like, you want to perform so well.
Right.
Your team is playing decent. They run the ball well. Amari Cooper is balling out of control right now with Jacoby Brissett. You come in, you want to continue and add to that, but you haven't thrown.
The funny thing about the Browns this year, they're the Browns, right? Jacoby Brissett wasn't the problem.
No.
Now, I know Deshaun Watson is better. There's no doubt about that when he's back into his rhythm and he's in his prime, he's in his mid-20s. But the Cleveland Browns don't have a losing record because they have an incompetent quarterback. Jacoby actually played very well.
Yeah, he did. He played very well. But when you think of, I just can't get over the Deshaun Watson thing. Like, him coming back and not being rusty. He's
got to be rusty.
You cannot emulate or simulate football. Like, whether it's conditioning, running, throwing, catching, all those things, you can do it as much as you so please on air. But when there are helmets that aren't matching your helmets and they're trying to get you and you're trying to fit balls in windows, it is completely different.
Yeah. Now, here's my question. I don't know what Houston Texans fans, the 9 of them that are out there, are like, when it comes to tailgating and pregame stuff. I'm not even sure if the network that's airing the game is going to show you any of that stuff. But you gotta figure.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta figure there's massage tables outside and signs up and people squirting lotion on people. Like, that's gotta happen, right?
Everywhere.
I don't know about the lotion squirting.
Absolutely.
But
that's just a dream of mine. That's all that is.
The trolls are gonna be.
I've gotten a lot of massages. I've always hoped that one day was the day I walked into the right massage parlor. I've yet to find it, but I'm still looking.
I listened to something with Michael Vick, and he was talking about, how he had to respond after his dog fighting deal. And he was talking about Deshaun and needing to show resolve. It's going to tell us a lot about who he is and his ability to show resolve in a situation that he created for himself. And so for me, that's what I'm looking at, because what you just said is going to be real. There's going to be signs. It's going to be everywhere, plastered around the stadium, outside the stadium, inside the stadium.
The Houston fan base supported him against the front office of the Texans because there was a thought that the front office of the Texans and the ownership really foobarred the whole situation, trading D-Hop, not letting him play 2 years ago. But I think that's probably changed a great deal because he's no longer theirs.
Yes, and when he set out and he didn't play, like it's changed. But it doesn't matter where he goes. Houston, he's going to see it in Cleveland with away teams coming in.
Yeah, you don't think the Ravens fans are going to do it to him? You don't think the Bengals fans are going to do it to him? Mm-hmm. There will be a point, not this year, when that's not the first thing everybody says about him. But you're right. He's got to show that he's a great quarterback again.
Yes.
And God knows he's being paid like one.
He definitely is.
Some guys get the bag and they play really well. But we haven't seen it yet from the 3 quarterbacks that got the big guaranteed money. He hasn't played yet, so we don't know. Russell Wilson, playing like crap. Kyler Murray, playing like crap. They're ruining it for guys like Lamar Jackson, who deserve the money but haven't gotten it yet.
They ruined it, but Lamar Jackson is going to get paid. Deshaun Watson, however, I believe you give him a little bit more leeway just because he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't just immediately draw a parallel between him, Russell Wilson, and all the other guys that haven't proven and they've been playing every day.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.